Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Pregnant woman killed by her Somalian refugee boyfriend in suspected honor killing. Hello, my name is Reneilwe Morema and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News Channel, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. The pregnant woman you see on this picture is Saga Reneilwe. She was 20 years old. She was found strangled to death in a home in the city of Örebro in April last year in a case that shocked the Scandinavian country. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who would be so evil, demented, and desensitized to kill such a beautiful young woman? Well, she was killed by her 22-year-old boyfriend, Mohammed Ibrahim, a refugee from Somalia. And why did he kill her? Because he was nervous to tell his parents that he had impregnated someone out of their religion. This is considered an honor killing because he was ashamed he got a white Christian woman pregnant, which was against the rules in his religion or culture, and it is considered an act that will bring shame to the family.
This is the beautiful Saga. She was 7 months pregnant when she was unalive. She was strangled by her boyfriend. I'm going to furnish you with the details. However, you should note, it is shocking. This is the very room she was unalive in. As you can see, it is ramstack, showing that she was actually fighting to survive. Fighting to survive, to save herself and her unborn child. This very guy displayed on your screen is her boyfriend. He is a Somali man. When her body was found, there were marks around her neck, proving that she was strangled with a cord. This very Somali man was charged with the brutal act. But let's dig deep into this act of violence. So he's a traditional Somali man who was consumed with shame and guilt. Why, you might ask, why he was ashamed? Well, he impregnated a white woman before marriage. And being the ashamed Somali man, he decided to take her very life. Even though we pay more attention to the fact that Saga was unalive by her boyfriend, we must also look at the disgrace of this Somali man. And this brings to light clash of cultures. Like in the Western world, some things are normal. Like, a lady getting pregnant for a guy that she's not married to. While in another section of the world, that is not the norm. Hence this guy, this Somali guy, who is a refugee based upon my findings, did what he did. Now, this is a major story in Sweden. Be careful, people, and be mindful that every culture is different.
Throughout history, women have been held responsible for upholding the honors of their families, often with deadly consequences. It was common throughout Europe for men to murder their wives because they suspected infidelity and to kill their daughters because they eloped. It was also common for brothers to kill their sisters because they refused to marry the man the family had chosen for them. This honor killing is still practiced in some parts of the Middle East and Eastern African countries that are dominantly of Muslim and Islamic religion. There was one case that was popular back in 1994 where a 16-year-old girl was murdered by her own brother because she had been raped, and this senseless act of murder was a way to cleanse his family's honor. In Jordan, dozens of women used to be locked up in prison without charge for long periods of time because the state was protecting them from honor killings or other harmful acts of violence. And I know some of y'all are thinking, why don't they imprison the persons or the people who threatened these women? Well, if the man feel like a woman is violating her duties as a wife, or just being a woman in general, or what a woman should be like according to their standards, then that that woman shall be devoured by dogs. That woman stands trial, or that woman stands a chance to be killed or be involved in an honor killing by one of her family members, which seems a little bit unfair because these men are allowed to have mistresses and be mischievous without any consequences. But if an unmarried woman sleeps with a man, she's an adulterer. Therefore, her punishment will be severe.
बड़ी चीज़ है यहाँ पे। एक तो ये है कि अक्सर इस तरह होता है कि अपनी मर्ज़ी की जगह शादी करती हैं, मतलब चली जाती हैं, तो फिर ये है कि जो मर्द हैं वो खैर सबको आती है कि हम उसको मार डालेंगे या इस तरह करेंगे। तो बस इसी वजह से कहते हैं कि ना लड़कियां जो है वो घर से बाहर जाए ना, और ना कोई बात करे। बेशक पढ़े लिखे हो के भी इस चीज़ को नहीं अच्छा समझते। हमारी बहन बेटियाँ कहीं बाहर जाएँ या कोई इन्हें देखे या कोई उनकी बात करे, ये चीज़ वो बर्दाश्त नहीं करते।
Most women are bound by a rigid set of rules and restrictions that place the responsibility of the family's honor solely upon them. Honor crimes usually take place when a male relative claims that a woman has brought dishonor or shame to the family, which can have dramatic consequences for the victims. According to local research, nearly 1,000 women are killed in the name of honor each year in Pakistan.
A classic example of this is Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry. She was also the Queen of England in the late 1500s. She was executed on charges including adultery, witchcraft, and also remember that in the Dark Ages, smart and wise women were considered witches or sorcerers by men who were scared to lose their power and grip over the women. She was accused of incest and conspiracy against the king, but her only crime was the failure to produce a male heir. She gave birth to one daughter and had multiple miscarriages, at least one of a male fetus. And those who know a lot about Anne Boleyn would know she was an outspoken person. She had a strong personality, which kind of emasculated the king. Therefore, the charges against her were likely concocted by the king as a way to get rid of a troublesome woman and make way for a more compliant consort like Jane Seymour. I think these violent acts against women stems from the view of male superiority as part of the cultural perpetuated by these ideologies. Violence against women is seen as a natural expression of male dominance, ordained by the gods, supported by the priests, and implemented by the law. Women have come to accept and psychologically internalize compliance as necessary. Violence towards women in all forms is still thriving in such environment. Honor killing in itself is an act that asserts male dominance and a burden on women. By placing the responsibility of this honor on the shoulders of women, those women could be easily controlled, and therefore men suppress and control the sexuality of their partners or the sexuality of their wives. The question remains, why did you let your relationship go on for this long to a point of getting her pregnant? Why be with her in the first place if you know your family will be against it? And also, why do you feel the need to bring your cultural belief in a foreign country that is not familiar with this senseless act of culture? Firstly, you are violating their rights to practice their religion freely. You are bombarding her with your cultural practices. You are imposing your beliefs on her with no regards to her rights. Secondly, the fact that you don't expect any consequences shows that your religion has backwards thinking and they do not want to move along with the times. Like, honestly, you can't come to a foreign country and start acting the way you want to act, all in the name of culture, religion, or tradition. Prosecutors have stated that he grew up in a household that believed dating a white woman is not okay. He must date a woman of the same culture. That is why he concealed his 2-year relationship from his mother because she would not accept it. So he saw it fit that she kills her rather than tell his family. Why didn't you just leave her? Why didn't you just leave her to raise this child alone? Women are resilient. We single-handedly raise sons and daughters every day without help. I don't know where we get the strength from, but we get it done. So I am sure she would have done it on her own. There is nothing honorable about killing a woman carrying your child. I mean, killing an innocent soul is giving coward rather than honor that you think you are doing to your family. Their baby boy, who weighed 1.7 kg at the time and measured just 1.5 feet long from head to toe, also died inside Saga's womb. There is no evidence to suggest that Ibrahim's family was either involved in Saga's murder or they asked for her to be killed. The prosecutor also claims that Ibrahim's DNA was found under Saga's fingernails, which tells me that she died fighting for her son's life. She died fighting for her life. Now that is what I call putting on an honorable fight. What do you think about this story? What do you think about some cultural practices, some extreme cultural practices? Do you think that these practices should be allowed in this modern day, in this modern times? Do you think culture is an excuse to be violent towards women? Do you think these men are using culture to become violent towards women, to practice unfair practice against women? What do you think about this conversation? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel.